NuNet is a cryptocurrency project that is focused on developing a decentralized marketplace that provides computing power and storage space for anyone who wants it. They provide incentives for this marketplace through the NuNet token for users to provide their storage space and any extra computing power they might have laying around in their devices. So in this video, we'll dive deeper into the token, the tokenomics, the roadmap of this project, and also some of the things they've laid out for governance and to ensure that the project is decentralized at every level. So if you want a complete analysis of this promising project, this is a video you should definitely watch until the end. As always, in this video, we don't provide any kind of financial advice, only educational content, and in this case, educational content about a very cool project. NuNet is an exciting project that belongs to the Singularity Net ecosystem. In fact, it's like a Singularity Net spin-off. They are trying to develop the infrastructures for users, researchers, and small and medium enterprises to be able to assess decentralized computing in an easy way. This decentralized computing not only removes a single point of failure for whatever it is that you're running, but it also allows companies to assess more computing power to be able, for example, to create and develop cutting edge AI applications to run these applications or any other kind of computationally intensive technology or use case that you can think of. If you want to know more about NuNet, the technology, how it all works, you should definitely watch the video here on the top whenever you can, or maybe after you finish watching this one. In this video, we dive deeper into the tech and into the team, and I think it's a very important video to have a complete understanding of NuNet. While in the video you're watching right now, the focus will be on continuing the analysis we started before in the previous one, by diving deeper into very important aspects of the project we didn't cover before, such as the tokenomics of the NTX token, the token that will power the platform, the roadmap, the progress they have achieved so far, and also some of the ideas they have for governance. Today, we'll start here by taking a look at the roadmap. Unfortunately, as you can see here, this is always changing to show the complete roadmap. But you'll get everything from what I'm saying and from reading as you follow and as the screen changes. The NuNet roadmap is divided into three major stages. Okay, it starts on the phase 0, going to phase 2. And right now we are in phase 1. That's the progress NuNet has achieved so far. The phase 0 was the MVP stage, where they started working on the platform, on the project, developing the necessary infrastructure, software, and product, and creating, after all, the minimum viable product that they were testing with probably partners inside the Singularity Net ecosystem. So testing them inside a restricted group of people and companies to see if they could create a project that worked. During this stage, NuNet also launched the NTX token and prepared the NTX gateway to allow for users to seamlessly use the token inside the ecosystem. When this stage is ready and they had in fact a product that they felt was fulfilling its mission and its job in a very simple way, because after all it's an MVP, NuNet moved on to phase 1, the phase we are currently on. This phase marked the start of the private alpha that was launched this year. The private alpha marked the moment where NuNet felt the product was ready to be tested and used by a wider audience, but of course still a controlled audience, the audience they were allowing, mostly from the people of their community, from the people they have attracted with their idea along the years. This phase, as you can imagine, is a little bit longer and it's divided into three smaller stages. The first one is making NuNet available for the SPOs so that the SPOs can use decentralized computing. This is actually an amazing use case, as being able to decentralize your computing power not only makes it easier for anyone who wants to become an SPO, as you don't need to buy a bunch of hardware specifically to become an SPO. But even if you have the hardware, if you run at least one node with NuNet, it will be safer, because even if something fails on your side, like a power outage or an internet outage, things that happen, you'll still remain online thanks to the node, and you'll still be able to produce blocks. This is a use case that is even more valuable in blockchains when there is slashing for whenever block producers don't produce blocks or whenever they go offline. And at the end of the day, this is a use case that will allow for a higher decentralization of the cryptocurrency space, of the cryptocurrency networks, where block producers will be using this kind of platform, as even the computing power of block producers can be decentralized and spread all around the world. Okay, they will start with the SPO, so specifically for stake pool operators from the Cardano blockchain. But I do believe they will work with other blockchains in the future for sure, as NTX is and aims to be a multi-chain cryptocurrency project. In this stage, they also intend to make available a device managed API that is basically an API that allows you to interact with the compute resources from the marketplace and manage those compute resources, and also a tokenomics API that allows for the platform to interact directly with the blockchain. Initially, just the Cardano blockchain, but it will be an API that will be able to do the interaction with all the blockchains necessary. In this case, probably the Ethereum blockchain, as well as NuNet as tokens in this blockchain. In addition, they also want to allow for individuals to be able to start supplying their CPU computing power to actually power the network, power the marketplace, as resources that the stake pool operators can use and can acquire. So basically, if you have a computer, you'll be easily able to provide your CPU power and use that computer to get some NuNet tokens on the platform whenever this resource is being used. Then we have the second stage of this phase 1, focused on allowing GPU decentralized computing on the NuNet marketplace. In this stage, NuNet also aims to deliver a telemetry API that basically allows to get some of the stats of the computing power and everything that is running. Finally, as the last stage in this phase 1, NuNet aims to integrate with the SingularityNet platform. Okay, so create as well an AI services API that will allow for AI applications for SingularityNet to leverage the computing power in the NuNet marketplace, and maybe even to leverage some of the AI applications already built to improve the experience in the marketplace, or even the usage of resources. From this private alpha, the NuNet team also intends to get a lot of feedback from users in order to develop new features and keep on improving the product. Once this stage is finalized, the SingularityNet team will move forward to the second phase, that is the public alpha. The second phase is not currently well defined, as you can see here. It's a stage where, above all, NuNet aims to do improvements to their marketplace, to bring new features, some features they have thought of, but other features that will be definitely according to the needs of the users and the feedback they get from users in this initial private alpha in the phase 1. But just for you to have a notion, some of the ideas they have for this phase is compute platforms integrations, allow for multiple different types of compute providers, provide support for the deployment of Cardano nodes, so even less technical users could probably in the future launch a node, a Cardano node, leveraging the NuNet computing power marketplace in a relatively easy way. And also they want to create an app for device onboarding and management app, as right now it's not that simple to provide your computing power into the marketplace. You need to know some technical background to run some command lines and some code. But with this kind of website, with this kind of app, basically anyone without any kind of technical background will be able to do it. And I think that will be certainly a big step forward in the adoption of NuNet. Reflecting on the roadmap, one thing about NuNet's roadmap is that we don't actually have timelines for this roadmap. We have these stages. We know what they want to do in each stages, but we don't know exactly when they expect to complete them. What actually makes it difficult to check if the team is being actually able to stick to their schedule, to their plan, or if they are delayed or what is happening. In addition, we also don't have any clue when we should expect things to be ready, which, it's not concerning, but it's like, it can take a long time. And if you're looking at the project, it can make you kind of forget about it just because you don't know when things will be ready for you to use them. Or if you're thinking about getting the token, you don't know when will be the best time to actually load on a token before it actually gets more utility and more people are using, right? Looking at the progress so far and considering that we are on phase one and we are at the first stage, at the first use case, I believe it might actually take a couple of years to get to phase two. So it's something important to consider. Let's now dive deeper into the NTX token. That is the utility token for the platform and will be used for payment of the computing power and storage space. Or so basically will be the reward for people giving computing power and storage space, and will be acquiring the currency they should use, the token they should use to acquire computing power or storage space. This token has a total supply of 1 billion, as we can see here, and 30 billion of NTX tokens were distributed at launch. In addition, 100 million NTX tokens were offered to the community. They also had a private sale and a public sale for the community round, as they call it. Both sold at the price of 2 cents. It's important to notice that NTX is designed to be a multi-chain token, and that currently tokens are across two different blockchains. When the token was minted, we have a bit more minted on Ethereum, 63% of the supply of NTX, and almost 37% of the supply minted on the Cardano blockchain. Currently, you can bridge NuNet from Ethereum to Cardano through the SingularityNet bridge. As such, these values can fluctuate. In terms of token allocation, we have the majority of the token going to a reserve for research and development for the project, for the development of the product and the technology. Then we also have 16% going to the team and the advisors, 15% for mining rewards to incentivize their network, 14% went to a private round, 10% to the community round we talked about, 9% is stored for community rewards, which includes airdrops to AGX holders, and farming and staking rewards as well for the new NTX token. Then we have 6% to backers of project, probably other projects and individuals providing relevant contributions, 4% for the public sale, 3% for the seed round, and 2% for launchpad. In terms of vesting schedules, the seed round, private round, and community round had a 12-month linear vesting schedule that has finished already. Launchpad tokens also had 2 months vesting schedule and they are available already. Backers have a 20-month vesting schedule that has finished as well. And team and advisors have a lock period of 3 months and then 24 months of linear vesting for their tokens. The tokens reserved for the research and development of the project are still being vested, as they had a 1-month lock and 26 and 36 month of linear vesting. And the mining rewards were locked for 6 months and have a 60 months vesting schedule. In terms of tokenomics allocation, it's really nice to see just how much is actually going to research and development, I would say. But in my opinion, there are a lot of tokens that were sold in private rounds to investors and even sold to the public and the community. And considering the price, they were able to acquire it at a much cheaper price. Right now, the price of NuNet is around 4 cents, and they were able to acquire it for 2 cents. So it's double the value. So we can have some sell pressure for sure, as it's still profitable for these individuals to sell their token, especially if they really need money in this bear market. In addition, we have 16%, the second largest allocations of the tokens, going to the team and advisors. That can also be a cause of a lot of sell pressure from the team, and is certainly a big amount considering the distribution. It would likely be interesting and maybe better for the project to see higher percentage of the tokens being allocated to users, to actually reward them for using the platform, to incentivize them to come and use the platform, especially for early adopters that will have a more clunky experience. In terms of governance, NuNet has plans to be decentralized. They want to get insights from the community for their decisions since the beginning of the project, but they also want to decide the governance process with the community that should be the one, in fact, approving the final governance and the roadmap, including the timelines and the parameters for this governance roadmap. They also want to create a platform for governance and start increasing decentralization progressively at every level, little by little, I would say. However, it does seem to me that right now NuNet is more focused on their roadmap for their platform development for product, very likely so that users can have in the future something to govern, and maybe at that point it will make more sense to focus more on governance and decentralization. Overall, NuNet seems like a very interesting technology, very interesting product. There is a real use case for it and the problem that they are solving with this tech. And it's a very important tech, I would say. They are leveling the play field. They are allowing individual researchers and smaller companies to be able to compete with cutting edge technology that can be developed by the players that have the most computing power and that have a natural advantage thanks to that. But in addition, it also provides very interesting incentives for regular individuals like you and me to provide our computing power, our storage space, and as long as there is demand for it, to get good rewards for doing so. In addition, NuNet has a great team, a great ecosystem supporting them, full of brilliant minds. That is the Singularity Net ecosystem. The only thing that I would like to see, as I said, is more tokens being on the hands of the early adopters and providing them incentives to join the platform and to use it, and maybe just more specific and concrete timelines so we could have a better notion of when the product will be available to be used, and also to have a little bit more public accountability, I would say, for the project, because if you commit with timelines, you kind of feel more driven to try to achieve them and to try to deliver. Overall, this is definitely a great project to keep following, to learn more about, and who knows, maybe to use someday for sure. But if you'd like to keep on learning about incredible projects, I think we should maybe learn a little bit more about SingularityNet that we discussed a lot in this video. They are probably the AI project in cryptocurrency with the most potential, I would say, and the one that has been here for longer and with more work to show across the years. So definitely you should watch this video here next. One of the videos that I've done with more views, so I don't know, I guess people are enjoying it. So on my side, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you there.